Good day. Come for aid? Exactly what I expected. An attempt to squeeze blood from stone. Mortarvane, in all his wisdom, has deemed it fit to sever ties with our neighbours. Now we wait for Morosa's response. And be assured it will not be pretty. All these years, and our Lord has become even more bitter. He'll never forget what happened all those years ago. Was it her death? Or is it the state of this town? Both? Quiet! Have the sense not to call for such sabotage while we're watched. Though your proposition brings another idea. Rumors have stirred about an important individual, a descendant of Mados, and from what we know, he resides not too far from the kingdom's capital. The hamlet nestled to the west of us, called Tabandra. Image, my friend. The armor we've maintained from Mados's fatal excursion still shows its majestic craft after all these years. Yes, any can wield the armor, but none can trigger the runes marked in its metal, and we're sure the very trigger is blood. You see where this is leading? None can measure to Mados, but it shouldn't stop those with the potential from trying. The person you seek goes by Rados, reportedly a large fellow. Comes with being a blacksmith, no doubt. Evermore is a very welcome change of tone from the dreary scenery here. Been a long while since I've made the journey there myself. Hope you don't get too comfortable upon those lush knolls, though. We're pressed with an urgent concern. A gathering of witchmen to the north are engaged in some communion. Nothing before has been quite like it. And if whatever they conjure up comes marching down the valley, then we'll need all our allies. In any other circumstance, I would have directed you to a duty more befitting your skills. Such is the times where we have to rely on the vague potential of heroic progeny. Rados would mean more than his utility to this town. Having the very descendant don the iconic armor of that bygone hero would instill a new sense of hope and morale within all of us. I needn't tell you how the guards have been found lacking in principles recently. It's hard not to. I want to spur a drive within them again, have them motivated for our future. No better way than the return of an idol that they can all rally behind. If he refuses now, we'll just send someone again. You're beginning to understand our desperation, I take it. We have ways of coercing people, and no, I'm a priest, and wouldn't tread the path of violence just to intimidate innocents into doing my bidding. I will show them our plight, and hope that some facet of their conscience would concede. Blessings for your future journeys.
Я тебя предупреждаю.
There you are.
I'd like to grab a pickaxe myself and see what fancy baubles a dig like this has in store.
А ты точно не хочешь убрать куда-нибудь этот свой огонь? Ну, подальше от меня.
А? It's hard to stay motivated when working for these city snobs.
We're an eyesore, mate, whatever reason.
They say there ain't enough space up there, but we all know it's a crock of dung. Look how much space those noble manors take up. It's always been about image. Besides, we got nowhere else to stay. Despite how miserable this hole is, it's a lot safer than the wilds. Beggars like us are fodder for their battles, sent to the front with pitchforks and sticks. Only those yearning for death would ever make that choice.
Do you like my dress? Ладно.
Are you kidding me? What do you want? Ладно.
Ну кто-то же должен был забрать эту штуку.
If I were the cynical type, I would say these priests are using us to do their dirty work.
those Red Guard vultures are finally gone. That's
There
one
you
less
are.
burden we have to deal with.
Go on, bash your skull in! Going places, wrecking faces. It's hard to stay motivated when working for these city snobs.
Who are you, Oakley? Good day. Nice to see you people haven't been overrun by plague.
I would say these creatures are using us to do their dirty work.
Oh, by the 8, not again! Will my children be expected to become fabled heroes too? A dozen times at least. And my father before me. Each time someone's horse is stolen or some exile's mugger merchant. Tell me about it. They claim to respect him, yet they put him on display in death. Deny the old man burial for years. You see me. I'll gouge your eyes out.
Look who's brave!
Time to taste metal.
Final straw!
Good day. Nice to see you people. Oh, by the 8, not again. A dozen times at least. Tell me about it. They claim to respect him, yet they put... You seem alright. And I do hate to make you a bearer of bad news. Let me fetch you some wine for your trouble. Who hasn't? Why? Dark magic. That actually sounds worthy of Mados. You know what? You're right. Last thing I want is to go down in history as Rados, twice as tall and twice as yellow as any. I'm in, friend. Lead the way. That's simple. There was no Reach before that. The Reach is, and always has been, its people. And the Reachmen haven't had a calm night in centuries. Orcs, Witchmen, Nords, Bretons. And it's not like the Bretons themselves get along. You wish. There's a bleeding mess of a kingdom next to ours called Wayrest, and some 14 years ago we went to war with it. King Uta, also called the Owl. Nay, his cheeks. Well, Uta had some beautiful daughters, you see, each one from a different queen. And King Sigmund was quite fond of one of them, something Uta wasn't too fond of himself. In the span of 2 weeks, more than 1,000 men were dead on both sides. Such was the war over a princess's canny. Not when she's 9 years of age. Damn near cost his majesty his head. During one of his visits, Uta had Sigmund taken prisoner, and his retainers banished from the kingdom. Aye, some weeks later. Small wonder he wanted to see Wayrest go up in flames after such humiliation. I was levied 3 days after, and a week later the army was well on the move towards Wayrest. Must have looked weird back in Evermore. Couldn't do it before, so many of his own men were slaughtered, it seems. Funny thing is, I've always hoped to visit the city of Wayrest as a child. Now I'm partly to blame that I never will. Nasty is the word that comes to mind. We were outnumbering them 6 to 1, but the skirmishes were so fierce, our Venturiers had set the countryside ablaze with their spells. Those were windy months, so by the time my unit had reached the city of Wayrest, the smoke was everywhere. And let me tell you, war is hard enough even when you can breathe. Nothing good. The trade had stopped, the crime ran rampant, and in the following years not a corner remained in the entire realm that wasn't raided and sacked. Today one of the base's largest cities is not even worth conquering anymore, and half our military has to guard the border against those who blame Evermore. That's no wonder. It was broken up by the hand-picked squad of scouts. They crossed the border wearing burlap robes and posing for pilgrims. One of them, a devout priest of Mara running an orphanage, paid some guards off to see the molester king and spit in his face. Made quite a scene, you can imagine. He also passed Sigmund a scroll of recall with a mark already placed in the woods nearby. Not a single drop of blood shed. Well, it wasn't me who told you this, but a certain scout commander from Arnima kind of came up with the whole plan. Wasn't me who told you, friend. Well, I wasn't planning on leaving my friends, you know. I was leaving the town Ravenspring had become. Oh, none too unusual. There was even a joke that that's what you call a temple, a sewer and a wall brought together. However, there was a real sense of community. We were proud like the Reachmen should be. We're older than the 3 empires combined. Most of the world doesn't know we exist, and the Bretons want to believe we don't. Back then, Mortivane seemed like the finest lord the place had ever seen. Strict but fair, blunt but honest, a terrific swordsman on top of that. Well, the siege of Ravenspring had changed it all. Those 2 months broke some in ways healers could do nothing about. The hero's death, the doom of Grey Belmore, the bodies mounted on the pikes. My father couldn't handle Mados's demise, took to the bottle, and in the following years there wasn't much left of him. And Mortefane had lost his wife. That alone had made a man once called Maid of Iron, fearful for his life, secretive and cruel. And soon he had the bodies on the pikes make a return. This new Mortefane could have been made of iron, all right. So many he had put to death with it. Anyone could be accused of treason and put to death, neither painless nor swift. So the people were afraid of gathering or even talking too loud. We felt like we were living on borrowed time. No one dared speak up against the Lord, but by that time he was so severely paranoid he needed an excuse rather than a reason. And all of it under the watchful dead eye of old Mados, hoisted like a deer carcass. It was sickening. So I left. Simple as that. Some would say I should have tried to be the big damn hero Jack has had a plan already, no doubt, but it's the soul of the town that was gone, and bringing that back is no task for a blade. And that's the end of my story so far. As always to you foreigners. All right.
Something you need?
I'm right behind you.
If I were the cynical type, I would say these priests are using us to do their dirty work.
Who are you, Oakley? Truth be told, place worth fighting for on this side of the realm.
You were with the Imperials at the outpost, right? Killed all those damn orcs off? I hope you made them suffer.
the gutter rat. Piss off. You alright? Don't cause any trouble now.
I'm right behind you.
Hello.
I'm right behind you.
Come for aid? You've succeeded where many of those who came before had failed. I was right in sending you. Must have made a strong argument for a man to leave the safety of the West for the chaos here. Just like Matos then. It may be that we rekindle the fighting spirit here, make us strong again. And who better to lead the way than you two heroes? I truly admire such zeal in the face of uncertainty. Envy it even. Now if only I worshipped the more violent gods. Ha! Now I shouldn't blaspheme just before your quest north. You'll need all the Divine's fortune, and all the courage us mortals can summon in these dark hours. Take a guess. Treason. So yes, they upset the Lord. Though that doesn't take much these days.
Time hasn't been kind to this town. Glad I left before it...
If only it were that easy. You must realize that it's not only him we have to worry about, but the guard. They're almost as intolerant as our strict but fair Lord. It doesn't help that they feel their actions justified from dangers beyond the walls. It's become such a vicious cycle that I can't fathom this ending well. Keep quiet about the grievances you may have. It will do us no good if any more decent people find themselves victim to his tyranny. Farewell.
Who are you, Oakley? I served in the Evermore Pikeman militia and helped with the occupation of Wayrest. So I know how to face down a foe at the least. Why so sudden? But I agree. The sooner we can deal with this
I want to
burden,
get out of
the
this
better.
old dung pit town.
All right. Let's see what we've got. Ebony armor. This stuff is a fortune. But I suppose Mados deserve no less. As soon as I put it on, we'll be off.
I heard Jacko's talking to the guard that they were planning to strike at the heart of these savages. I'm
Let's
sure
keep
they'll use the
moving.
opportunity we created.
As far north as I've ever been. And I have no intentions of coming here again.
Out of the darkness.
Let's get this over with before we freeze to death. Goddamn savages. Can't even say good witchmen's and dead witchmen. Bastards know necromancy.
tears ends here. Released from the flesh.
Beautiful one here. The unending silence.
Scurry away. The tendrils of our mother will find it. Good enough.
Careful, this is Witchman territory. You don't want to be trapped here with those lunatics about. Going places, wrecking faces. Cold, you could break me arse off with an ice pick. Hope we find a fire soon. Say your prayers. Messed with the wrong Richmond.
Far north as I've ever been, and I have no intentions of coming here again.
Careful, this is Witchman territory. You don't want to be trapped here with those lunatics about.
Let's get this over with before we freeze to death.
Mate, come on.
Let's keep moving.
Yeah, I hear it too.
Savages. Can't even say good witchman's a dead witchman. Bastards, no necromancy.
Hey, don't make this a habit now.
Let's get this over with before we freeze to death.
Feels like we're walking into something bad. Yeah, I hear it too.
Let's not linger. This place feels all kinds of not right.
It's so cold it could break me arse off with an ice pick. We find a fire soon.
Far north as I've ever been, and I have no intentions of coming here again. Let's keep moving. Savages. Can't even say the good Bushmen are dead, which the bastards man let them see.
Jacko's talking to the guard that they were planning to strike at the heart of these savages. I'm sure they'll use the opportunity we created. There you are.
Come on, keep up!
What the hell's name were those pharaohs up to?
You made it through the savage's hole.
Been needed
Or am I seeing ghosts? And you share our black humour, mortal down to the very bone. Alright, we're going to have to clear up here. See to it that these dogs don't return with yet another dark ritual. Contacted our friends in Evermore. They're going to send the Stasi down to clean house. If you want a primer on who these criminals turned militia are, then we'll have to speak later. For now, make sure we haven't got some foul straggler lying in wait for their arrival.
No better place than a giant hole to take a leak.
Yeah, I hear.
Aren't you busy with something? Incontrovertibly so. His presence in these walls gave people a figure to rally around, brimming with charisma, a mutual sense of belonging to those who adored him. He was the Reachman's hero. Well, for the civilized of the Reach. Many have tried to measure up to his legacy, and many have failed. It seems those who mirror his physique and martial prowess are found wanting in mind. Such as those large lads clad in ebony you've surely seen on your way to me.
You don't want to be trapped here with those lunatics about.
Knights of Evermore. A parody that went from tragedy to farce almost immediately after their making. Knights have a whole different connotation in Evermore, it seems. The slightly taller one is Mech. Slow in the brain, but still capable of all the savagery that any mad Reachman can mete out. Must have been dropped on his head as a babe. He's reined in by his more cunning and terrific. And that Sec is a whole new beast. A whole new load for knighthood. Or got a lifelong friend if it meant another power. The man was at Munster. Those who saw him in the slaughter shuddered upon recalling his debauched behaviour. Never knew a man could go through so many women within a night, slaying twice that, and all at the ripe age of 16. Biggest man you'd have met for his age, mind you. Just another show of nature's cruel inequality. Made enough gold for the king, no matter the means, you're knighted. Brought the king another girl to gawk at, you're a knight. Burnt a whole village to the ground because someone took the king's name in vain, you're a knight. Hope you do, and I want you to understand our predicament when it comes to current morale. You can't have pride when it's based on farce and criminality. Corruption seeps through every crevice of our kingdom. Got carried away. I am sworn to this town's defence and will lay down my life for the people. Don't take my words as a slight against any of my peers. I thought the priest was being dramatic. Portents of doom are all that strips from his lips at the smallest inner trouble, but now I see there's some truth to his words. Told me to expect some type of demon up here. Never knew it'd take the form of this winged bastard. And now that confirms an even more sinister rumour. That rumour had to do with our lord, Mortiphane. It's possible dealings with that foul goddess who summoned this creature, Namira. Priest didn't disclose any further than that relation existing, or not. Just told me to look out for anything particularly strange, and well, we saw exactly that. Really putting your life on the line for us, eh? You have my gratitude. If you do exchange words with him, then make sure not to shout. Many of those within the walls are still tragically loyal to that madman. And not only there, but right here. So we'll have to halt this fatal talk if we want to keep our heads. We'll be returning soon once that lowland Stasi detachment arrives. Stay safe. It's better to avoid asking them directly. Actually, I would advise you not to engage with these types at all, else you may land yourself in very hot water. They're very off. Most are drawn from the more unsavoury ranks of our conscripts, with a popular and probably true rumour that half of them are pulled from the exiles.
This is Witchman.
You may know the kingdom is having problems with corruption and bad seeds already. Well, that pales to what these people are capable of. If I were to opine, I'd say they were made from the Witchmen rather than any half-sane Reachmen we have near the walls. You won't, but they certainly could. Just best to leave them to their business. It's almost always a very dirty affair that will make any witness despair. Trust me, I know. Certain things a civilized man should never do, yet they frequently transgress on that standard. When you think you've seen the worst, they'll surprise you the next morning with some new sickening spectacle. Because they get the job done. Though sometimes it's better to draw these things out when you consider what a fast job like theirs entails. The kingdom has come to prominence in High Rock in short time. Don't think that was done with clean hands. There's rarely clean hands when it comes to getting rich fast. We'll talk again.
Yes, mortal. What is your bidding, master?